Hey there, mathematicians. Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And today is time for the number of the day again. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, let's choose our number. Here we go. Are you ready? The number of the day is... It's going kind of slow today because it's Monday. Oh, come on. Up. The number of the day is... Here we go. Ding. Okay, the number of the day is the number 80. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, and I hope that you have a pencil and paper and you're doing this with me, is going to write it in standard form. Now, how many digits are in the number 80? 2. And what are those digits? 8 and 0. Now, if you remember, every digit represents a place value. So when I look at the number 80, I see that the 8 represents 8, what place value? 8 tens. And the 0 represents the number of ones. Excellent. So now that I have represented the place value, I can now come here to base 10 and represent it using base 10 blocks or using tens and ones. But before I do, I'm going to write 80 in word form. Now, 80, not to be confused with 18, which is why it's important for us to write it in word form. So 8, like I'm writing the number 8, and then 80. And I'm going to underline the ending. 80. Perfect. Now that I have written the word form, I'm going to represent it using base 10 blocks. Are you ready? I hope you're doing this with me. So when I look at 80, it tells me that I have 8 tens. Very easy. 10, 20, 31 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, 8 tens. Okay, so 8 tens gives me what value? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 8 tens gives me the value of 80, plus how many ones? 0, right? Okay, so I'll leave it like that. Now, your job, I'm going to stop here, and you are going to finish the rest of the number of the day on your own. I know you can do it. We've been doing this all year long. So I want you to go ahead, now that we have represented it using base 10, now you can come over here and represent it in expanded form. Now, here's where it might get a little bit tricky. So I still want you to remember that when we represent it in expanded form, we take the value of each place value. So we take the total value of 10 plus, so I'm just going to put TV for total value, plus the total value, TV, of 1. And that is how you represented it using expanded form. So I'll let you finish that. And then here, for base 10, for option 2, I want you to represent the number 80 once again, but this time to represent it a different way, which means that you can decompose some of these groups of 10 in order to represent it a different way. So right here, I want you to remember to decompose. If you remember, decompose means to break apart. So I want you to take one of these 10s and break it apart. And here, I do it like a cross because I want you to remember, so let's go ahead and write the number 80. So right here, it might get a little bit tricky, but if you do this, you will see that it forms a cross. So it tells you what the values are already right there, right? So it's just The top one is -10, the bottom one is +10, the one to the right is +1, and the one to the left is -1. And then in the bottom, you'll do the comparison. So let's go ahead and find the number that we are going to compare 80 with. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and write 80 here. And the number we're going to compare is, let's figure it out. What's it going to be? There it is, 89. Perfect. So 80 and 89. So here, you'll write two comparison sentences when comparing 80 and 89. So the first comparison sentence is going to use less than. And the second comparison sentence is going to use greater than. You got it? All right, boys and girls, here you go. When you are done, take a picture of your work, post it on your student profile. Remember, make it very neat and organized, and I'm excited to see your work. Till next time.